Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today we're taking a look at another portable monitor. This one is from KYY, and before we get too far into this, I want to make it really clear that this monitor was sent to me for the purpose of this review, so it was not personally purchased by me. However, I'm not being financially compensated for the video beyond the receiving of this product. So my opinions and reviews, as always, remain my own. This is a $89 US 14-inch portable monitor, and there's some specifications on the back, so let's go ahead and slide that over to the document camera so we can take a look. So this thing does weigh about 530 grams, or around half a kilo, and in terms of the display specifications, most of them are printed on the side. So this is a 16 by 9 IPS display, and it is a 1920 by 1080 resolution, so pretty standard so far. The piece of information that's not printed on the back here is the color accuracy of the panel, but it is 72% sRGB, and it is 350 nits in terms of brightness, with a 1500 to 1 contrast ratio, which is printed here. A couple of other things to note is that it does have two 1-watt built-in speakers, a 3.5mm headphone jack for connecting headphones if you so desire, two USB Type-C ports, and then one mini HDMI for connectivity. However, all of this is pretty standard. That's not what makes this thing interesting. What makes it interesting is that on the inside of this thing, the monitor actually has a VESA mount on the back, which means that if you have a setup where you need to mount this, you absolutely could, which does kind of significantly impact the portability piece. But I think that the thin and light panel might be an attractive option for people that have like bench setups or unique things like that. So while this might be marketed primarily as a portable monitor, I think that there's applications outside of that portable monitor where this thing will really shine. We've kind of started the unboxing process here. We do have a power plug that will allow us to power the unit if USB Type-C isn't available. You can use one of those USB Type-C ports to power the monitor. This one is just USB Type-A, so that means that there should be a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable on the inside of the box to go with it. If we remove this piece of foam, it looks like we've got the monitor and stand right there. We have a quick user guide, which is color, has lots of pictures, tells you how to plug it in, tells you how to use the stand, which is nice, tells you how to connect it to different devices like gaming consoles, phones, tablets, and it also tells you how to get multiple displays working with Windows and Mac if you have absolutely no idea how to do that. And it also talks about some of the menus and goodies like that. We have a HDMI full-size to mini HDMI. We'll just leave that there because we shouldn't be needing that for our tests today. And then over here, I suspect, is our USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable. And that's correct, which means that this is probably just a USB Type-C to USB Type-C. Look at that, 3 for 3. So, with all of those cables unpacked, let's go ahead and see what the actual monitor looks like. So we have a nice cover here, and then there's our VESA mount holes. Now, the one thing this does not come with, of course, is an actual VESA mount or the screws. These are M4 screw holes, if you're wondering what the, size you'd need to get. And then if we flip this over, it looks like we've got a screen protector and then a quick usability guide, which is actually kind of nice. It tells you how to use the smart cover, and there's kind of the orientations where you can put it here, or you can put it here for two different angles. We'll switch over to this camera here to get another angle. And then on this side over here, we have the power button, the kind of rocking control, up, down, and middle press to navigate your menus, your headphone jack over here, nothing along the top or the bottom, and then on the right hand side we have the two USB Type-C ports and one mini HDMI. Now, They, for some reason, have the Thunderbolt logo there, but I can almost guarantee you these are not Thunderbolt capable ports. Yeah, that would be very, very surprising. But because this thing is designed to not only work in this configuration, but also mounted, that's exactly what I'm going to do while I test it. So just give me one moment and I'm going to set up a mount over here so we can mount this and see what it's like. All right, so I have the KYY mounted to a gasket arm, and I had to crank the gasket arm all the way down in terms of the arm holding strength to get it to essentially sit where I leave it. So that's a good thing to note, that if you do want a gasket mount arm this, like I'm trying to do here, you're probably gonna have to turn that mount all the way down if you're lucky to have this thing balanced where you want it to. But what I really like is just the fact that you can mount this, period. The screw holes are like M4 machine screws and they are very, very narrow, but you know, it works. So here we have the display, and what we're doing is we're just mirroring this P15S that I've got on the bench here today. And just to take a look at what the menu experience is, so we've got brightness, contrast, black levels, and sharpness, the image, color temperature, which I'm not going to mess with, a whole bunch of settings, reset, and then signal source, so we can turn low blue light or HDR mode on if we really wanted to. Okay, so what I did is I upped the brightness 100% because it was only at 50 out of the box. And I would say it's relatively color accurate, so I'm pretty sure this P15S also has a 72% sRGB panel, because they definitely look quite similar in terms of color accuracy. So I'm pretty confident in that claim that it is definitely 72%. And the nice part about mounting this, of course, is that you can have any orientation that you want. So if you want to have two horizontal orientations, you can absolutely do that. Or we can set it up like this, where we have it in a vertical orientation and able to put over all the menus and things that we need on one display and continue working on the other. So overall, I think this does pretty much everything that you would need a monitor to do with this configuration. I think it being portable is handy, but more importantly, I think it's a very inexpensive VESA mount setup that you could use in like a garage or a workbench, anywhere that you don't want to have a full-sized monitor stand taking up huge amounts of room in your workspace, or if you just have some components lying around that you want to build into a setup like this. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed taking a quick look at this. I want to thank KYY for sending it to me, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll leave a few links in the description too, where you can learn more about this if it sounds interesting to you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.